Exciting news, everyone. We asked, they delivered. There is now a Starfinder Humble Bundle going on, which delivers a huge amount of volumes in terms of everything you need. It's over $400 of Starfinder role-playing materials for 45 bucks. We're gonna go through all the things here. I'm so stoked about this because when the Humble Bundle deal dropped for Pathfinder, I just bought a bunch of stuff because I was like, eventually I'll get to Pathfinder. I'm not actively doing Pathfinder now, but I am actively playing Starfinder right now. So for those of you who know, cool. For those of you who don't know, we meet up every Wednesday night for a Starfinder Actual play session, and we have been working our way through the very first of the Dead Suns official adventure paths from Paizo, going through the Starfinder world, learning Starfinder. I have a series here on my channel called Discovering Starfinder. It started off as a video series. It has also become a podcast. You can check that out here on my channel. I'm continuing to learn all things about Starfinder, and while I do own through Fantasy Grounds, I have the core rulebook and the adventure path that we're playing right now, which is the incident in Absalom Station, and then the Packed Worlds guide. I don't have a bunch of other stuff. And one of the coolest things about this, in my mind, one of the best parts about this bundle is the entirety of. There's an adventure pack. I don't know the name of it. We're going to read through the blog post here in a minute, but it's actually the adventure path that I was talking to my brother about like 3 months ago when we were first talking about potentially getting into Starfinder, because it's very much like a Serenity Firefly, ship crew in space type adventure. So I actually am familiar with the one that they're selling as a part of this adventure, but as part of this Humble Bundle, which has me even more excited than before. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and stop freaking out about this. We're actually going to read through this and go look at the Humble Bundle over on the website. So, this is as of Thursday, May 11th. It went live earlier today. I'm actually recording this at like 8 o'clock my time, 8 p.m. on Thursday the 11th. It'll be publishing on the 12th, so a little bit behind. Um, so the Starfinder Solidarity Bundle has everything you need for years of exciting science fantasy play, like digital copies of the Starfinder Core Rulebook, Alien Archive, Alien Archive 2, Alien Archive 3, the Starfinder Beginning Box, and the entire Fly, Free, or Die adventure path. That's the one I was talking about earlier. Plus, it features physical copies of Starfinder Alien Archive 2 and Starfinder Critical Hit Deck, which is over $400 in Starfinder role-playing game digital and print materials for only $45. Best of all, it says you get to choose how much you purchase, supports the Trevor Project, which is the charity that they are dealing with this. So at the $5 tier, you're going to get the Starfinder Core Rulebook, which I already own in digital format, but you get that, the Starfinder Alien Archive, the Beginner Box, the Player Character Folio, the GM screen, the Adventure Path, the first of the Adventure Paths, We're No Heroes. That's one of 6 for Fly For Your Die. At the $15 tier, you get Starfinder Alien Archive, the Adventure Path, Merchants of the Void, which is 2 of 6, the Professional Courtesy Adventure Path, which is 3 of 6, the Adventure Redshift Rally, the Archive Pawn Box, the Core Rulebook Pawn Collection, the Starfinder Society Scenario Packed World Warriors, the Flipmat Asteroid, Flipmat Ghost Ship, Flipmat Jungle World, and at the $25 tier, you get the Alien Archive 3, Starship Operations Manual, Near Space PDF, the White Glove Affair Adventure Path, which is 4 of 6, the Crash and Burn Adventure Path, which is 5 of 6, and the Gilded Cage, which is 6 of 6, and the Starfire Pawn Collection, Fly For Your Die PDF, One Shot System Takedown, Society Scenario Corporate Interest, and the Basic Starfield and Spaceport Flip Mats. Just a huge, huge, huge amount of cool stuff. Plus, you get a couple of physical items if you want them, the Alien Archive 2 and the Starfinder Critical Deck. Now, because of where I live on the homestead, I'm doubting that I'll be able to get those physical items delivered to me because even if I could, the shipping would be outrageous because our homestead's in southeast Mexico. But I might be able to get those delivered to my brother's house and have him store those for me. But all the other stuff is digital, and this is a huge amount of value here. So things like the Alien Archive, the Starship Operations Manual, I mean, Near Space, I mean, all of these alone are worth a ton of money. But here's the thing, like when they say over $400 of value, the big thing for me is the adventure paths because there's 6 books here. And I know now from having been, we're five, we just did their fifth session. Um, and I'd say we're about 50%, maybe 60% of the way through our the first adventure path, the incident at Absalom Station, which I'm estimating we're going to get around 20 hours of gameplay out of that adventure path because we've played about 10 hours and I feel like we're about halfway through. Basically, upon reading through the book too, I think we're right around the halfway point. Hey
And based
everyone,
upon
Renfail here with the commercial part of the video where I say, hey, if you like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. And thanks to all of our supporters are here on YouTube and over on Patreon, our highest members, our guild champions, Crazy Relative, Remy D here on YouTube. And don't forget if you want to support, it's really easy. You can do the memberships below, the Adventurers Guild, 3 different tiers. There's also the super thanks on any uploaded video or YouTube short that you find. There's also, of course, the super chats and stickers that you could do on any live stream or premiere, and the Patreon page if you want to dive into the fantasy world that I have with my brother and my wife, which is a tabletop game, a point and click adventure game, and a fantasy book series. All are great ways to keep this channel going and me going full time. Thanks again for those of you who support. Let's get back to the video that you're watching now. And based upon some people I've talked to in the past as well, it looks like most of these adventure paths give you about 20 hours of gameplay. And when you play once a week, like our group does, for about 2 hours, sometimes a little bit more, that's 10 weeks of entertainment. You're talking by the time you factor in your session zero and character creation stuff, you're looking at 3 full months of fun with. There's a bug in my room. Like 3 full months from one adventure path. So getting 6 books, 6 different adventure paths, which are all part of the same storyline. They're all part of that live free or fly free or die storyline. That's massive. That is massive. That's at least 100 to 120 hours of entertainment for your tabletop group and taking them all the way. I think it goes from like level 1 to level 15, if I'm not mistaken. That alone is worth so much in terms of the value that you get. And those are usually around like $22 to $25, I think, somewhere in that ballpark for the PDFs, and or if you're buying them through like Fantasy Grounds, which is what we use for our digital tabletop needs for our VTT stuff. I think they're like 23, $24 or something. So that's a huge value just alone. But then all of the other PDFs, I think out of all of these, the ones that interest me most is the beginner box, because there's actually a one-shot single player adventure in there that I've wanted to do on my YouTube channel. So having that is worth it for me. Also, the where did it go here? I'm gonna scroll down here. The Starship Operation Manual, that's huge because it's more juicy details on Starship combat. That's actually something that we kind of fudged during our most recent actual play session because the um, Starship combat is so detailed in this game that we actually opted to just kind of uh, do a simplified version of it because we weren't meeting at a table and spending lots of time figuring things out and everything else. And we just were like, you know what, that looks really, really complex. Let's go ahead and just simplify it and get past that encounter. That was a group decision. But I'd love to know more. And having that book is a great step in that direction as well. But then having Near Space, the Alien Archives, and everything else, that's there's so much here. Um, I think it's super, super sweet when they do things like this. The Humble Bundle for Pathfinder blew me away with how much was there. This is a really, really big pack as well. And I think like the core rulebook alone, having gone through it, it's pretty detailed. I just started reading through the Packed Worlds book for my Discovering Starfinder series recently, and that's an even more in-depth book. But there are so many rules, and for someone like me who's coming into Starfinder for the first time, I mean, I'm DMing my very first campaign now in this world. I like Starfinder. I like it a lot. I'm still interested in learning Pathfinder, and I own everything now in the Pathfinder Humble Bundle that I picked up a while ago. But this is an even juicier detail for me, given the fact that I'm actually in the middle of doing a Starfinder actual play series right now. And so, anyway, I gotta wait for Chris to get home because she's not home tonight. She went out to her mom's for Mother's Day, so we're gonna go over the budget, and I'm gonna be like, look, I need to buy this, so I'm gonna push some stuff to the side and pick this up. Hopefully, you'll pick it up as well. Let me know your thoughts on this below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you want more tabletop news, and I'll see everybody in the next episode. Until then, stay safe, fly free.